Okay, hi everybody. It's Carolyn here. I am going to go over the cult murder trial for day 4. It was a short day for the cult murder trial, but I just want a couple of things really quickly. I did put a community post about the legal fund. There is an update on the GoFundMe page. We are getting close to the 18th, which is when there will be a trial date set. There's 3 things. They say there'll be a settlement. You'll either have a settlement or a trial date. So you can read it for yourselves. So as we go into the home stretch, and I appreciate those that have donated. I appreciate if you'd want to buy the wristbands instead. They're $5 a piece. They help fund the legal fund. And yeah, we've got to see this through, and that's what I plan to do. So I just put that out there with an update. Just thought I would bring that to your attention if you haven't seen it. And then the other thing is I have to be on the road tomorrow. Well, it's 2:30 now. What is it? 2:13 now. So in 5 hours and 15 minutes, I have to be on the road. So I'm going to make this concise, but fact-filled and fun. As fun can be. But we did have some fun before this. We were in our Zoom and we were watching the Tyson versus Jake Paul fight. And ours did not buffer. Somebody was telling me that a lot of people, it broke the internet. We were able to watch it. So that was nice. Perks of, being here with us. But anyway, we watched it. It was good. Spoiler. Mike didn't win. But he went the whole distance. So kudos to him. Now, who's Carol Bink? Hi, Carol, where are you? Oh, I can't give that information out. I have stalkers. The star, So I'll tell you on the QT. But I have a trip in the morning. So I'll probably do some lives from the road. We'll see. Anyway, let me get to Chloe Driver. The defense was on today. Like I said, it was a short day. I think they were done by like 1 o'clock or something. On day 4, the psychologist testified. So let's get this going. All right. So Dr. McLendon Garrett, a forensic psychologist, testified that Chloe Driver pled not guilty by reason of insanity due to her multiple mental health disorders, including schizoaffective disorder, borderline personality disorder, and cannabis use disorder. Now, before I go any further in this, let's remember this is taking place in the state of Georgia. And if you remember another case that we covered in the state of Georgia was the Tim Jones case. And that's when, if you don't know the Tim Jones case, it's a horrendous case. Tim Jones, an engineer, ended up getting, they separated from his wife and he got the custody of his kids, and he then got into this spice. Okay, I think it was also called Scooby Snacks. It was some kind of cannabis product, right? But it had tendency to make you really paranoid and have like mood disturbances, all this stuff. Well, he killed his 5 children. And he drove around with them in a van for I forget how many days. And he tried to get out of it by claiming that he was insane, and they brought doctors in and all this stuff, but it didn't end up that it floated. It didn't. And he was condemned to death So, yeah, so this is in Georgia again. And I just wanted to just get that out there. Now, Chloe Driver's mental health issues were exacerbated by a traumatic upbringing, abusive relationships. They said that she got into substance abuse and started using drugs at a young age. They said like she was moving in with friends or like out of the family home and stuff like that at a young age. And she ended up meeting her husband, Ben Michael. It sounds like some kind of Arrested Development thing. Ben Michael, Brian, Joyce. Those are some of his names. At a bus station when she was 16 years old. And apparently she got some contact information for Benjamin. And I think it was around about a year later, she contacted him. He was 38 years old. She was 17. She got together with him. So, yeah, I mean, a lot of people do feel sorry for Chloe. They think that, I do believe, she needs to be committed to a psychiatric unit. That's a psychiatric hospital. That's what I think. Between the cult, between the grooming, all of this, and the fact that, so what does it for me is that she tried to kill herself. I mean, she just didn't have superficial wounds, okay? Like a lot of times, you know, we've seen some parents try to stage something. She didn't have superficial wounds. And then people make a big deal because she locked the door. Well, wouldn't you lock the door even if you're in that psychotic state where you think this is the only way out for you guys? And these people have been following you and they took her baby. She made a video on the 27th of November that said that she was going to be forced into a truck with Benjamin. He had taken her daughter. She hadn't seen her daughter in days, and she breastfed her daughter. She hadn't seen her in days. That he had her with some other people. So he was doing a lot of stuff to her. And then there was the talk of this black magic. And so what they're claiming is in her mind, in the psychosis she was in, she thought this was the only way out for them. And she would have bled out as well, okay? She had a collapsed lung. She required a tracheotomy. I mean, she required surgery. Lots of things. So she could have very easily died too. And she kept saying and trying to stab herself in the heart when she's like, why aren't we dying? Why aren't we dying? And with all of that, especially that we've heard today, it wasn't that she was just trying to kill her baby and go away. They're making a big deal about like $1,000 in her purse, but you have to remember they dealt probably mostly in cash, and that was in her purse. So big deal. What was she doing? She locked the door so that help couldn't get to them, so they would both die. You know, so yeah, I feel for her. I think she's in a terrible state, and I think the death of her daughter, there's no other punishment like that. You know, when she comes to the reality as she is about what happened, and she just wanted to die with her daughter. You know, she thought that was the only way out. So, I mean, yeah, I think she needs a psychiatric hospital. Anyway, Tim Jones didn't do something like that. He didn't try to take his own life, you know. Okay, so Driver's mental health issues were exacerbated by her traumatic upbringing, abusive relationships, substance abuse, and irregular use of prescribed antidepressants. Dr. Garrett then told about the detrimental effect of Chloe Driver's husband, and that nomadic religious group leader Ben Michael on her mental health, describing her as isolated, and she was subjected to extreme control and harsh punishments. You know, you had to wear what he said. You had to eat what he said. Your diet was very controlled. You know, all of that stuff was very controlled. And then Chloe Driver expressed concerns about the baby Hannah's future due to the group's practices like a lack of prenatal care. Hannah didn't have a birth certificate, vaccinations, okay? And she attempted several times to leave the group. In the time leading up to her daughter's death, Chloe Driver's extreme paranoia and delusions worsened. which, according to Dr. Garrett, culminated in a perfect storm of circumstances that contributed to the tragic event. Let's see. Dr. Garrett testified that Chloe Driver, she experienced suicidal ideation early on and engaged in self-harm, she said, including cutting and attempting to overdose on sleeping pills. Although she was prescribed antidepressants as a teenager, she reportedly did not take them consistently. And what would happen is when she was given meds, as soon as she felt well, she stopped taking them. And then she would get unwell very quickly. But then when she got with her husband, Z, Brian Joyce, oh, that's his other name, Z, Benjamin, Ben Michael, he didn't allow any drugs. Like, I'm not even, pharmaceuticals. None. Let's see. She couldn't go to stores. She couldn't use money or have a phone without supervision. Her only jobs lasted about 2 weeks, and they were out of necessity. So whether she had this money, and it could have been that, hey, maybe she thought, let me see if I can get away with our daughter, but then thought, no, I can't get away with her. I have to go to another thing and just take us out, Let's see here. She had a very unstable childhood. Her family was cold, and she left them multiple times, living with boys, even leaving the state to move in with one. Let's see here. She became part of that nomadic religious group led by her husband. She began questioning the group's teachings after giving birth to Hannah, particularly regarding the lack of prenatal care. She also reported enduring severe control and punishment within the group, including what is called dark therapy, where you're confined to a bed and you're denied bathroom access and forced to urinate on yourself. Garrett outlined Chloe Driver's mental decompensation in the months leading up to Hannah's death. She said in September of 2020, during Hannah's birthday celebration, Driver entered a catatonic state. Around the same time, her brother was shot, which she believes she caused. She became consumed with delusional thoughts, including a belief that photographs could download her back into moments in the past. Okay, so this was explained. So, it's like a magical thinking. And a lot of people sometimes have a magical thinking, even though, like, something's not wrong with them. They think, okay, if the school bus goes by, I have to say this prayer or that prayer, I have to do this, or something's going to happen, right? A lot of kids sometimes have that. It's almost like the step on a crack, break your mother's back. Some kids have OCD, can get very much, oh my gosh, I have to go back over. And so she had these things, and sometimes they would be fixed by doing a movement, a twirl, and like there are people that have this kind of stuff, okay? So it doesn't mean that, but this is, that the person is insane, but she was saying these are things that she thought, and they went to a little bit of excess when she thought that her husband was saving a photograph. She thought and likened it to like when you have a computer and it says, do you want to go back to, how I'll tell you want to go back to this date, which was maybe yesterday, and then your computer will be exactly as it was yesterday, but if you added anything new onto it, it's not going to be there. She kind of thought that if somebody had this picture of her, they could bring her back to that time. It's a little bit different. She also thought that she could get messages from things, okay? From maybe the TV was giving a message, and they also said she believed like she could make things happen, like, if I don't do this way, this could happen. It could be good or bad. Again, that's something that's like that magical thinking. But she was very concerned about those photographs that he had, and that he could bring her back into these bad times. Maybe they were these dark times. So she started getting increasingly erratic. She tried to leave the group multiple times, and once she flagged down a motorist, and this is that thing that we kept hearing about, when then that Stiller, the guy in the middle there, had the problem with that woman, and they got into an altercation, and he hit her and shattered her eye socket or something like that, and that's, yeah. Another time she called her parents on a monitored phone, and she was coerced to go back with threats of never seeing her daughter again. And that's when she made that video that was shown on November 27th. And then the psychologist testified that Chloe Driver's paranoia and her delusions intensified shortly before the baby's death. She was given a CBD oil, which she believed heightened her magical thinking and spoke to her of a belief that she was downloading her sins into her child while she was breastfeeding her. She was incredibly isolated, mentally unwell. Her relationship with the group and its dynamics created a perfect storm. This trial is going to continue on Monday. I don't know why they ended early today, but they did. But the judge said that the case will probably be in the jury's hands by the middle of the week. Let's see what else we have here. So yeah, that was today, and like I said, it's just I do feel for her. I think she really needs, mental health treatment now. Oh, the other thing is we did watch a documentary last night about the 12 tribes. That website that I brought up last night, and then we went and watched the documentary. And it's not a good place, okay? So, yeah, we watched, they had a couple of women that left, and they told their stories. It's good. You can watch it on Tubi. To be or not to be, that is the question. But you can watch it for free on Tubi. And then we watched on Netflix, and I fell asleep. I couldn't stay up. But it was Casey White and Vicky White. Remember, they were on the run back in 2022. She was the director of corrections in Indiana, and she was retiring. And on the day she was retiring, she took off with one of the inmates. And then there was a big manhunt. Remember that one? I won't give you any spoilers because I didn't finish watching it, even though I know, what happens ultimately. But it seemed like it was a really good documentary. I don't know who else finished it, but it seemed very, very well done. Okay, and a lot of footage and a lot of real people in it. I thought it was very well done, the parts that I saw. The 12 tribes cult, that was done very well too. Gives you some insight. Now, gosh, Linda gave me some names of something I was going to look up that she told me are not a cult, but like that. And now I don't remember what they are, but I'll have to get them from her tomorrow. Let's take a look at, let me see here. Where's the live stream? Where is the live stream? Here we are. Okay, so let's see what you said. Love on the Run. Did you watch the whole thing? Hi, Christine F. How are you? Did you watch the whole thing? Because I didn't get to watch the whole thing. Did you watch the whole thing? Hello, Canadian. How are you? Is that, Canadian Nana? I know who that is. Okay. Hi, Canadian Nana. You appreciate Margot? Do you appreciate me, Canadian Nana? I could use some appreciation. Hello, White Angel. Hello, It's Bink. Hello, Heart May Wise. Kevin Leonard, Rough and Ready, Snow Remover. I've gotten a lot of stuff out. Check your PayPals. There's still people, Brooke, I have to get you finished. I have to go on a trip tomorrow. Like I said, I'm going to be out early in the morning, so the rest of the stuff will get out on Monday. Kevin, your stuff went out. Sharon, you got one box that went out. Ruffles, all of your stuff and your daughter's stuff went out except for your gingerbread jar, because I'm not finished with it. Let me see what else. Sharon, you have one more box of stuff I got to put together. Manager of Three Monsters, I have to get your stuff together. And of course, White Angel, yep, your stuff. I have to get shipping on that. And Margot, I have to finish the stuff with your second box. Okay. And then Snowbird, I have to get your present out, and I'm getting there. It seems like you should see how many boxes I got out today. It's crazy. Okay, but it's like I still have so many. Oh, and then Mary Warren, yeah, your stuff. And then, oh, Little Lady. See, it's like crazy. Okay. But yeah, so we have that. Again, community posts will give you the update on the legal fund. Appreciate that. You can help us with the legal fund by sharing it out, by your prayers, by, giving to the legal fund, or if you'd like to get a wristband, they're $5 and they support the legal fund. And they're very nice wristbands. So those are some of the ways to do that. Now let's look at the other headlines before we call it a night, because I told you I've got to go to get on the road by 7:30. All right, so let's see. What is going on? A Virginia woman was arrested false identity. Isn't that special? Let's see. What's this about? Virginia woman. She was allegedly using a false identity, which allowed her to work as a nurse at 2 California hospitals without a license. 44 years old. Now I would say she looks a lot older to me than 44 years old. But I guess if you're having that kind of a lifestyle, you might age it, right? Amanda Porter, she reportedly impersonated a nurse at Providence St. Joseph Medical Center in Burbank. She saw 60 patients from early April to early May. She was arrested on November 7th after bonding out of custody in Los Angeles County for pulling a similar stunt at Henry Mayo Newhall Hospital in Santa Clarita. Investigators say they believe she may have committed several acts using false identities throughout Southern California. So if she looks like a nurse that treated you, let the police know. Porter allegedly does not have a nursing license, and she is on probation for a federal fraud charge out of Virginia. Wow. In May, Burbank police were tipped off about a woman impersonating a nurse at Providence St. Joseph's Medical Center. She had already received 2 paychecks before getting fired for impersonating a real nurse from out of state. As a new hire, she was in her orientation phase and as such was partnered with a training nurse during the 5 nursing shifts that she worked at Providence St. Joseph's Medical Center. She's in jail without bond and charged with felony identity theft, felony false impersonation, and felony grand theft. Police asked hospital officials for leads as they suspect she defrauded other hospitals in Southern California. Oh, so yeah, she's somebody that you've seen at the hospital. Now today, there was another trial that started, the Laken Riley trial, and that is going to not be decided by a jury. So I'll tell you just briefly about that one. Hold on a second here. What is going on with this?
It's print business.
Oh my gosh, these ads. Be quiet. So let me get this up. You might remember this one. Some people said they I don't know, but maybe Scooter's watching this one, maybe other people are watching this one. Some people, I'm watching Chloe Driver right now. But it did begin today. A Venezuelan man went hunting for females on campus. Hold on one second. My feed here is driving me crazy. Okay, here we go. This might remind you of Molly Tibbetts, kind of a little bit. But a Venezuelan man went hunting for females on the University of Georgia's campus, and earlier this year ended up killing a nursing student, Laken Riley, after a struggle. That's according to prosecutors. Defense attorney said the evidence is circumstantial and does not prove that his client is guilty. Jose Ibarra entered the United States illegally 2 years ago, and he is being charged with murder and other crimes in Laken Riley's February murder, which helped fan immigration debate during this year's election. Ibarra waived his right to a jury trial, and the case is going to be heard and decided by the judge, and that is the Athens-Clarke County Superior Court Judge H. Patrick Haggard. Prosecutor is Sheila Ross. She said that Ibarra encountered Laken Riley, a 22-year-old student at Augusta University College of Nursing, when she was out running on February 22nd. When Laken Riley refused to be his R victim, he bashed her skull in with a rock repeatedly. And the prosecutor said evidence will show that Laken Riley fought for her life, for her dignity. As a result of that fight, Ibarra's DNA was left under her fingernails. Riley called 911, and in a struggle over her phone, Ibarra's thumbprint was left on the screen. The forensic evidence is sufficient to prove Ibarra's guilt, but digital and video evidence will also show that Ibarra killed Riley, said the prosecutor. Defense attorney Dustin Kirby called the evidence in the case graphic and disturbing, but he said none of it proves that his client killed Laken. The evidence in this case is very good that Laken Riley was murdered. The evidence that Jose Ibarra killed Laken Riley is circumstantial. The evidence that anyone had any intent or certainty committed any S acts is speculation. The murder added fuel to the... Okay, I don't even want to get into that political thing. Okay. Laken's mother, Allison Phillips, and other family members packed the courtroom. Phillips put her face in her hands and cried frequently, especially when photos of her daughter were shown during testimony about what happened to her. Ibarra sat at the defense table in a plaid shirt with his hands and feet chained. He wore headphones to hear a Spanish language interpreter and appeared attentive, sometimes looking up when the photos on the video were shown and sometimes looking down. During the opening statements, Ross laid out a timeline for the judge using a doorbell and surveillance camera footage as well as data from Laken Riley's phone and watch to piece together her final moments. Laken Riley left home at 9:03 a.m., headed for the wooded trails where she often ran. Data from her watch shows that at 9:10 a.m. she was running at a fast pace when something happened that made her stop dead in her tracks, and she called 911 at 9:11 a.m. Isn't that crazy? A 911 dispatcher answered, but no one responded when she repeatedly sought a response, and the call was ended by the caller. The dispatcher immediately called back, but no one answered. Her encounter with him was long. Her fight with him was fierce, Ross said, noting that Riley's watch data showed her heart was still beating until 9:28 a.m. She played security camera video that shows a man, she said, is Ibarra at 9:44 a.m. in the parking lot at his apartment complex. The man tossed something in a recycling bin and then appeared to throw something else in the nearby bushes. In the recycling bin, officers found a dark hooded jacket with blood that turned out to be Laken's on it and strands of long dark hair caught on a button. In the bushes, they found black disposable kitchen gloves, one of which had a hole in the tip of the thumb. Another video from about 35 minutes later shows what appears to be the same man wearing different clothes, walking towards a trash bin with a bag and then walking back empty-handed. The bin was emptied before police were able to search it. One of Riley's 3 roommates testified that she became worried when Riley didn't return home from a run. The 4 friends used a phone app to track each other's whereabouts, and Lily Steiner testified that she became more worried when she saw that Laken's phone showed her in the same location for a long period of time. Laken often talked to her mother by phone when she ran, and her mother also became concerned that morning when her daughter wasn't answering her calls. Steiner and another roommate, Sophia Mangana, walked to the trail where the phone app indicated Riley was located, and they found what they believed was one of Riley's AirPod earbuds on the trail, and they returned home to call the police. One of the officers who responded found Laken's body partially covered by leaves 64 feet off the trail. Although her shirt and underwear had been pulled up, Ross said there was no evidence that Laken Riley had been essayed. Before Ross played Maxwell's body cam video in court, she warned Riley's family that the video of her dead body would be shown. Riley's mother left the courtroom, but the other family members and friends remained, some of them crying or covering their faces. Ibarra is charged with 1 count of malice murder, 3 counts of felony murder, and 1 count each of kidnapping, aggravated assault, aggravated battery, hindering an emergency telephone call, tampering with evidence, and being a peeping Tom. Prosecutors say that on the day of Laken's murder, Ibarra peeped into the window of an apartment in a university housing building, which is the basis for the peeping Tom charge. So, I think he'll be found guilty on that one. Okay. Let's see what else we've got here. What is this about? Diddy's freak-offs. All right, let me go. All right, here's another one. Indicted for murder. There's a couple of guys that that killed their wives. There's also this case. Of this woman. She had an argument with her 12-year-old son in Waukesha County. She was angry about his grades, and she kicked him out of the car along Interstate 94. Police found the boy walking along the busy highway during rush hour. He told them he'd been walking to the Sylvan Learning Center for tutoring, and that he'd been walking for about 5 minutes, but police noted there were no houses nearby. He was not wearing high visibility clothing. The clothes he was wearing were thin for the weather, and he had no phone or any other way to contact help. Then the boy said he and his mother had argued about his grades and his schoolwork habits, and she kicked him out of the car and drove off. Police picked the mother up, Flor Escalante, 43, at the Sylvan Learning Center, apparently waiting for the boy. The tutoring center is about 2 miles from where the boy was located. Escalante told police that her son didn't appreciate everything she did for him, and that she kicked him out so he can understand what labor is. She said she thought traffic was moving slowly enough on the busy highway that he'd be safe, and she made a U-turn to pick him up and couldn't find him, and that's when she drove onto the Sylvan Learning Center. When investigators attempted to explain how dangerous it was to dump a child along a busy highway, as she had done, she asked what she could do to lower her charges. Escalante was very visibly upset about the situation, but did not seem to grasp the recklessness and negligence of her actions. Escalante has been charged with child abandonment and neglecting a child, and she was released on a $500 bond. Oh my goodness. Okay. Next up. There's okay, yeah, this is the one I wanted to go over. So this woman here, Erica Torres, has been at the University Health in San Antonio. Her husband in Texas shot her 14 times, and he's been released from jail without GPS monitoring, which leave the victim's loved ones in fear. According to the News for SA, domestic violence victim Erica Torres has been in that University Health in San Antonio for the last 5 months, following an incident that happened in June where her ex-boyfriend shot her, and they say wife and then they say boyfriend. So I don't know, but the important thing is he was involved with her and he shot her over a dozen times as she picked up her daughter at his Laredo home. The defendant, identified as Billy Delgado, was released on bond without GPS monitoring. The Webb County District Attorney's Office has filed a motion seeking to impose GPS monitoring, a curfew, and bi-monthly random drug testing on Delgado. His attorney has objected to the motion, resulting in a hearing set for November 25th. In the motion, If it's approved, it would not mandate that he stay in Webb County, but authorities would be able to monitor his location continuously. Meanwhile, the the man's mother said, you know what? Whoever did this is really bad, because they say Delgado's mother said that her daughter, but it's Torres's mother to be, said her daughter is living in fear of another attack. She said it's a little frustrating because he is out and about and my daughter can't be. There are a lot of things she can't do. She can't even be out with her daughters. It's just not fair. And that is Edith Terrazas. Now, his trial has been scheduled for February of 2025, and they have a GoFundMe for their family for their expenses. Okay, that's crazy that he has no GPS monitor. Let's see here. Oh yeah, did you guys hear this? This is crazy. Planet Fitness, did you hear about that? Well, let me get this over here. Listen to this. An Indiana man was found dead in a Planet Fitness tanning bed on Monday morning, 3 days after he entered the South Indianapolis gym. 3 days after he entered, and guess what? He had an ankle monitor on. Gym members say they noticed a foul smell Monday morning that was worse near the tanning rooms. Derek Sink's family reported him missing on Friday, but he wasn't found until Monday, despite wearing an ankle monitor that police said helped them determine he never left the gym after arriving. Family told the station that the 39-year-old had a drug problem and that a needle was found in the room with his dead body. The cause of his death has not been determined. So they had an ankle monitor, and he was reported missing on Friday, and nobody knew until Monday, and they didn't even know with the police. They knew because the gym members smelled something. It's crazy, isn't it? Police confirmed they were investigating, but provided no further information. Planet Fitness issued a statement saying they were working closely with our local franchisee to make sure brand protocols are upheld. Crazy, right? All right, let's see here. I told you about the University of Rochester last night. Oh, this is the one I wanted to tell you about. Okay. Come on. There we go. So this is a Florida man who's indicted for the murder and disappearance of his estranged wife in Spain. A federal grand jury has indicted a Florida man already in jail on kidnapping charges of murdering his wife in Spain. The indictment charges David Nizevic with kidnapping resulting in death, foreign domestic violence resulting in death, and foreign murder of a U.S. national. Nizevic, 36 years old, was arrested in May and charged with kidnapping Ana Maria Haneo Knevich in Madrid. Now, Ana Maria, a naturalized American citizen originally from Colombia, was last seen in Madrid on February 2nd. She and her husband had been going through a nasty divorce. Knevich's attorneys say he was in his native Serbia at the time that his wife disappeared, but prosecutors say he actually rented a car and drove to Spain, where he stole a license plate, put it on the rental, and was seen on surveillance video at a Madrid hardware store buying duct tape, spray paint on the same day. On that day, a man in a motorcycle helmet used this same brand of spray paint on a security camera in Madrid for the wife, her security camera. Prosecutors also say Knevich's cell phone connected to Facebook from the Spanish capital, and that the stolen license plates were spotted in several locations in Madrid, including near a motorcycle shop where someone bought a helmet similar to the spray painter who was wearing it, and at a toll booth near Madrid. The car at the toll booth was identical to the car Knevich rented in Serbia, but the windows had been tinted too dark to see the driver. The car did not have tinted windows when Knevich rented it, although it did when the vehicle was returned to Serbia weeks later with 4,800 miles on it. And this is his wife, who he is now charged with killing. Rental officials say the car had its original license plates when it was returned, with evidence that they have been removed and put back on, and they identified that 2 stickers were missing. Now, Knevich's attorneys say in September the prosecution's case was built on assumptions. The new indictment accuses Knevich of traveling to Madrid with the intent to kill, injure, harass, and intimidate his wife and intimate partner. Knevich did willfully and unlawfully seize, confine, kidnap, abduct, carry away Ana Maria, and then did willfully, deliberately, maliciously, and with premeditation and malice and forethought unlawfully kill her. The indictment includes images of the man buying spray paint and duct tape at the hardware store and the helmeted man in the hallway of Ana Maria's apartment as he spray paints the security camera. On Thursday, Weintraub said, "There's no evidence of any of this, and we're just dumbfounded." Yeah, right. Knevich remains in jail without bond. Unbelievable. Okay, let's see here now. There you guys are. Okay, so there we are. Hello, lady. Hi, Video Reel. You did, Nightbot. She's too busy. What? What's up, Video Reel? You had a rough workout? Did you watch that fight, Video Reel? Did you see Mike Tyson and Jake Paul? Lady. Hi, 61. How are you? We're bad ramblers. Don't tell Scooter. We're eating all of her extra butter popcorn in the bathtub. Really? I don't know. Hi, Sassy. Yes, snow removers in Canada. Hi, One-Eyed Blind Arts. How are you? So I guess we'll do the word cookies, because I said about 45 minutes and you've been studying, you didn't watch it? Fresh coffee? You missed it, Video Reel? How could you miss that? I won't tell you who won. Mike Tyson, 58 years old against 27-year-old Jake Paul. Do. How many people here watched it? Oh, you did watch it. Okay, I thought you said don't tell me. Ace is a place. It's a helpful hardware place. That's weird after watching that. And Ace is the place. It's the helpful hardware place. Ace is the place. Oh, see, yeah. Yeah, I've got acne. I've, no, I've found the word acne. Um, Ace. I tried caned. Oh my gosh, I tried caned like 3 different times. Who saw me doing it? Somebody saw me doing caned multiple times and it didn't work. That is so weird. That's happened before though. Decadence doesn't work because there's only one D. I tried that too, Kevin. Doesn't work. Decane. Nope. Okay. Thank you, Moriku. Okay. Is there any daily puzzle we haven't done? No. Just see what game we're at. All you're gonna be is me. I'll be. Almost, I don't know which ones I've done already. Oh my gosh, every word I've said I have already. We did it. That one was hard and it said we did it. Okay. Just, let's see. What, jujitsu? No, it's not jitsu, right? No. Uh-oh. Oh, you know, I meant to tell Kevin in that trial they used the word episodes and episodic. Isn't that funny? All right, let's see. Did we do just? We did just. Justify. Justify. Good one, Kevin. Okay. Justify. Jut. Yeah, that jut and juts, right? Jut and juts. All right, let me see here. Did I do fits? What about fit? Sit, suit, okay. That's alright. Tiff. Let me see, sit. Tis. Speech. Speech, I don't see those letters. Sift, yeah. Well, I've got to get your boxes out too. I have the. I'm going to try to get it stuff done on Sunday. Fusty? Huh, fusty. Oh, okay. Mike Tyson did okay. The good part is he didn't get knocked out. Yeah, I know. I know, but everybody was rooting for him to win, you know. But he said he's not over. I don't know. He stayed up. That was good. What would that be? Ouch. That's it. Nougat? Wow, look at all that money we got there. That's different. I didn't know they had money up there like that. That's weird. I never had that before. I wonder if that's something new. I think I did try Tom. Yeah, how about Tang? Wow. Ant. A-U-N-T. Watto. Hold on a minute. Watto. Okay. Tree. Oh. Goat. You're the goat. Okay. And then one more and then we gotta go to bed because I'm tired. I gotta be up early. I've gotta be up in 4 hours. 4 hours I have to be behind the wheel. So I've gotta go to bed. Alright. That means in 3 hours I've gotta be up. See if we can get this other one and then I'll... There we go, gaunt. Oh, you got it too, Kevin. All right, everybody. I will see you. Oh, look, special level. Oh, it wanted to kill us. with an H. Okay, we got to finish this real fast. Hot, hunt, hunt, let me see. Hog, oh my gosh, I can't do hut. Hug. Nat. No, it's got to have an H in it. Hang out. Okay, go to heart rate wise. I got top. I think I already have top, right? Yeah. Okay, we did it. How you got at the same time I did. Well, okay, we're gonna end that for tonight. Thank you guys for hanging out. I'll be around. Hopefully, I'll check in sometime tomorrow. Show you some things, maybe where I'm going. All right. Hi, it's just me. All right, everybody. I'll see you tomorrow. Be good. God bless and prayers. Stay well. Be kind. Adios.